Big data is a large amount of information that is collected to determine trends.
I can discover the latest market trends, identify a stolen credit card. I can even uncover manufacturing defects. These guys, to them, I'm just an overwhelming collection of customer transactions, payment data, emails, and tweets. I'm big data. With that powerful analytics, he's swimming in a sea of data, like these guys.
Hi, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. I created Facebook. Facebook collects data from users based on their gender, age, interests, and friends. Using the data collected on an individual is what makes a certain advertisement pop up on their Facebook page.
I'm Steve Jobs from Apple. We collect big data on our products to see how we can better improve production and see what people dislike and like.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mary Barrow, and I'm CEO of General Motors, and we use big data to track how many sales to assemble the cars.
Hello?
She's one dropped call from switching cell phone companies. Think her current provider knows? Well, I do. I'm big data. And I can tell you which customers are happy and who's headed out the door.
Big data is now collected through almost every and any piece of technology, from credit card swipe to social media and even the local services such as GPS.
Well, am I blurred out? Hey, make sure this is blurred out and make sure nobody knows who I am. Okay? Cool. Okay, well, big data is something that, we use to track any and everything that people are doing in the United States of America. Big data has helped us a lot. We have caught criminals. We've been using it for a long time to spy on people. Of course, we've been using big data to spy on any and everyone. Big data is nothing that you need to worry about. The government having all your information, everywhere you ever lived, every person you ever talked to, things that you have interest in, all your text messages, having access to your camera phones, none of that stuff is anything that you need to worry about.
Every time there's a new technology, there's always danger involved in it. I'm very concerned that the people that are spending most of the time right now speaking and focusing and thinking about big data are large companies and governments. And that's fine, but this is going to affect our lives, our parents, our kids, and I think we should all be involved in this conversation right now. I'll give you one example why. Somebody told me last week that there are banks that when you apply for a loan, if they try to look at your Facebook page, if you haven't, cloaked it, and if you listen to rap music, they will lower your rating score. But there are people making decisions, writing algorithms, putting laws, sort of software laws in place that with no regulation and no oversight, and this is some well-meaning programmer who thought, oh, I'm going to protect my bank. But you don't even know this happened. So all this data that we're now generating out in the world, why is it that everybody's using this data except us? There's an example in my book, Human Face of Big Data, of a gentleman who has a wireless pacemaker. So throughout the day, his pacemaker transmits his data to his doctor. So he decided that he would measure his exercise, his sleep, his alcohol consumption, and then see if he could map it against when his pacemaker kicked in. So he called the manufacturer and said, could I have a copy of the data you've been collecting about my heart for the last 6 months because I want to see if any of my behavior affects it. And they said, sorry, sir, this is our proprietary data. He said, wait a second, this is my heart. You've been collecting data about my heart. And they're refusing to give it to him. So that's an interesting story about him in particular, but it kind of speaks to this larger issue of who does own our data, who's benefiting from it, who's trading in it, and why do we have no say, one, over who gets it, and shouldn't we benefit it? And maybe if I got 10% of Google's selling my browser history, I'd be happy about it. But it seems like this conversation is not happening amongst us, and I think it needs to be.
Can I go? Okay, so I'm Mark Zuckerberger from Facebook.
Steve Jobs from Apple's. Apple. I feel weird. He's just playing my
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mary Barrow, and I am CEO of General Motors. And we use big data to track how many sales we are selling cars to the customers.
The number one big risk that is there. This is wrong.
What is it?
That doesn't rhyme.
The number one big.
Hey, okay. We've been using big data to track. We've been using big data to track millions of things. We've been using big data to